Well, we didn't see that coming. It's the right script, but the wrong team followed it. And now the Celtics have the opening that they need. I'm talking about it right now after a Game 1 win in the NBA Finals. Right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Boston, baby, we do what you can't. Locked on number 18, Tatum and Brown, J-team, step back. We gon' wet that and slay teams. Of course the Celtics, who else could it be? Screaming like KG with the Larry O.B. Karalis above average, assessing the team status. Best daily pod, no cap, salary matching. Clutch like Bird the DJ, keep John on replay. Prime time, dapping up the truth on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. B.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, and thank you for making this show part of your daily routine. And when I say daily, I'm not just talking about Monday through Friday anymore. It's every damn day of the week because it's the NBA Finals. And I am here in San Francisco, here at the Chase Center, to give you all the content that you desire. No need to wait till Monday. This weekend, you got a podcast today, which is Friday. You'll get one tomorrow. You'll get one on Sunday. So whatever you're doing this weekend, pop on the Locked On Celtics podcast, and we will be talking about this Game 1 win, breaking it down all weekend long. Podcast is free. It's available everywhere you get your podcast, and it's on YouTube. I implore you to check out the show on YouTube. Why? Because I am sitting here on the floor at the Chase Center with this awesome backdrop behind me with NBA Finals over here and the basket over my right shoulder and center court right to my. This is the coolest thing I've ever done, podcasting from the floor of the NBA Finals. This is awesome. John Karalis here. I cover the Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. I've written a book called The Boston Celtics All-Time All-Stars, and I was one of the media voters for the Celtics 75th anniversary team. Today, a 120-108 win over the Warriors, courtesy of a 40-16 fourth quarter by the Boston Celtics. That was completely unexpected. I was fully prepared after three quarters. I was starting to get my notes together and my post-game game report together for Boston Sports Journal. And I was like, okay, here we go. This is kind of what I thought. First half, I was talking about, remember I made this analogy in the crossover episode. The Celtics just went through Milwaukee and Miami, and that was like fighting Mike Tyson. And now you come out here against the Golden State Warriors, and it's like you're facing Floyd Mayweather. It's a completely different speed. It's a completely different type of domination. And in the first half, it didn't seem like the Celtics were entirely ready for that, especially in the first quarter. But they did well in the second quarter. They outscored the Warriors in the second quarter. They had a nice recovery, and in fact, they went into halftime. It was, 60, 54, 40, 56, 54. So the Celtics had a halftime lead. That's right. They had a halftime lead. And then the Warriors came on the third quarter, as we expected, right? It's the Warriors. They're a big third quarter team. They've been a big third quarter team. They outscored the Celtics by 14, 38-24 in the third quarter. And you say, okay, here we go. Like, this was a very here we go moment. The Celtics looked like a team that wasn't quite ready. And I thought, look, my initial reaction at that point was going to be, I'm going to do this podcast where I say, this is what you go through as a young team. You hope that you learn from this game one, and you hope that the resiliency of this team that they've shown all season, since January, all playoffs, not having lost 2 games in a row. You hope that all of that would show up in game 2. Well, it showed up 12 minutes early because the Celtics came on that fourth quarter behind Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Derrick White, Marcus Smart, and just dominated. And the script for a fourth quarter at the Chase Center was right. One of these teams was going to get buried under a barrage of three-pointers, just back-breaking three after three after three. That was always going to be the story of game one, how one team ran away with this game late because just hellfire raining from above. It's just that the wrong team did it. The Celtics picked up that script. They said, I like this. I'm going to do this part now. And they went out in the fourth quarter and they took this game. So it starts with Jaylen Brown, who was part of a 7-0 run, hit a 3, hit a 2, assisted on Robert Williams' dunk, an alley-oop, 7-0 run. Jordan Poole completely ineffective, just absolute. Not, we talked about pool party. This was not the normal pool party. This was like The Simpsons, where what's his name? The little nerdy kid has. Geez, I totally blew that analogy. But he got the pool that Lisa and The Simpsons had the pool, and then he stole the pool, and then all the kids go over, and the whole thing falls apart. Martin Poole. He had this whole big thing. Anyway, that's a long way to go for something that didn't work. But I'm kind of hyped up right now, so I'm not even going to edit this out. The pool party sucked, is basically my point. Jaylen Brown picked on Poole and reduced him to a puddle of nothingness. Poole was terrible in this game, a -19, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5, and defensively just got picked on over and over and over again. That's a big deal, by the way. If the Warriors can't figure that out, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Steph Curry. Curry comes back in, and then the Celtics and the Warriors get into this back and forth. And let me tell you something. That was Golden State's moment. That was Golden State's, hey, you know what? We're still the Warriors, baby. The Clay comes out, hits a shot. Steph hits a shot. Draymond Green hits a shot. Iguodala hits a shot. That's the Warriors. That's the Dubs. That's the champions. All 4 of those guys. That's bingo on your card. Steph, Clay, Dre, Iggy. That's the whole crew. All that was missing there was a Kevon Looney shot, which I'll talk about later on. But that's your core Golden State Warriors. And what happened was the Celtics just answered. That's supposed to be the run that the Warriors put together that just calms everything down, that lets the Celtics know we're still the Dubs, we're still the champs, we still got those banners hanging up. Where are those banners? Over this way. That was it. But Derrick White hit 3-pointers. Al Horford answered with 3-pointers. Marcus Smart answered with 3-pointers. The Celtics had like 4 or 5 3-pointers in a 2-minute stretch. And I tweeted out in that little run in the middle of the fourth quarter, feels like the first team that gets a stop, like the next stop wins. And that was with like 5 or 6 minutes to go. The Celtics got the stop. And that actually was the case. That literally the next stop was the one that team won the game. The Celtics got a stop. Curry missed the shot. Celtics get the rebound. They come down, they score. They get another stop. They come down, they score. Both of them, those were the 2 Al Horford 3-pointers. And from there, it was just floodgates open. And I think the Warriors just kind of were like, the Warriors do kind of get into that, well, not happening today. So, get a little frustrated, get a little messed up by, whatever the circumstances are. And they just said, okay, all right, well, it's not happening for us. But the Celtics stole the Golden State Warrior script and came down and used it against them. After this game, I'm sure if you go listen to Locked On Warriors, which you should do because you want to get both teams' perspective, guarantee you, I know what Cyrus is going to be saying. There's no chance that these guys are shooting like this again. Because after the game, Draymond Green said, we dominated for like 42 minutes or so we're fine. Like, I'm sure. Okay, sure. Is Al Horford going to hit 6 of 8 from 3 again? Probably not. Marcus Smart, 4 of 7? Derrick White, 5 of 8. That's probably a bit much to ask of the Celtics. However, first of all, just not saying they're not. It's the finals. You never know who's going to catch hot, get hot, who's going to catch fire. I mean, 5 of 8 for Derrick White's a little outrageous, but if I were the Warriors, I'd say, I don't know. This dude was shooting pretty poorly earlier, and water does find its level, and this could just be the stretch where he feels good, he feels confident, and this is the stretch where he has 2, 3, 4 games in a row where he's hot. Smart's been known to get hot, but even if they don't shoot like this again, you know what else is not going to happen? Jaylen Brown, 2 of 8 from 3. Jayson Tatum, 1 of 5 from 3. Like that's, and he actually took more than 5 3-pointers, or tried to take more than 5 3-pointers, but a few of those, his toes were on the line. And so he was just not himself. So those things aren't going to happen. Grant Williams, 0 for 1. Grant was nothing in this game, no show. So there are things that will not happen again, probably, but also things that on the other side won't happen again. Celtics, the bottom line is they did what they had to do. They stole home court back. They got home court, not stole it back. They stole it. Now you've just got to hold on. Celtics in 6, sure. Win your home games now. Win 2 games at home. 3, go up 3-1. Come back here, 3-2. Go back home, 4-2. It's now that's all it is. Now it's a home court series. Probably not how it's going to go, but also, why not go for 2? Why not take that second one? The Celtics come out of this thinking, hey, that was great. We can still be better. I'll talk about that when I come back. First, let's talk about Built Bar. Built Bar has come up with granola bars. I mean, I've been talking about Built Bars. I've been on the road, so I haven't been able to check my mailroom. I'm bet if these granola bars are sitting there for me, unless somebody stole them because they saw a Built Bar and they're like, oh, we're taking this. But these Built granola bars sound amazing, and they come in 3 unbelievable flavors: chocolate peanut butter, chocolate coconut, and white chocolate berry. You can get a mix box, get all 3 at Built.com right now. They're different than the bars and the puffs because they're loaded with granola. It's giving you crunch and chewiness, and like the bars and puffs, these babies are packed with protein, covered with 100% chocolate. Check it out. 150 calories, 15 grams of protein, 4 grams of sugar. Built granola bars will change your world. They've cracked the code to better granola. It's the perfect healthy snack to put in your lunch bag, take it on the road, eat as a snack. I would have loved to have taken it on the road. Didn't get there. I got to go home and get them. Comes with collagen protein. Made with collagen protein, your body absorbs that more efficiently, so you get tons of health benefits. Go to Built.com right now. Built granola bars. Use the promo code LOCK15. It works every single time. You want to get Built Bar, you want to get Built Puff, you want to get the Built granola bar. It's all there. Use it as often as you want. Every time it's going to get you 15% off. LOCKed15 for 15% off at Built.com. Thank you so much for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. And now I'd like to know why you make Locked On Celtics your first listen every day, and can we do it better? So I have an important favor to ask you. Locked On has put together this survey so we can learn more about listeners like you that make your favorite Locked On podcast even better. This is your opportunity to tell us what you like, what you don't like about Locked On Podcasts. So go to lockedonpodcasts.com/survey right now to get started. It won't take very long. Everyone that completes the survey qualifies for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Ticketmaster gift cards. So take the audience survey, head on over to lockedonpodcasts.com/survey. I would love to get your feedback, and I do very much appreciate your help. So the Celtics come out of this thinking, hey, you know what? We pulled it off. We looked like crap for basically 3 quarters. Fourth quarter was an aberration, really. I don't think anybody can expect 40-16 fourth quarters very often. So everybody, I think, understands that was a little bit much. But at the same time, it's still what transpired, and it still gives the Celtics a 1-0 lead in the NBA Finals, which, again, very surreal. Can't believe I'm actually here. I'm looking at all of this signage around the arena, just this constant, like you see behind me on the YouTube, just constant flipping and movement of this Finals script. The Celtics can do a lot better in this Finals. They adjusted well to. They started out in this drop coverage, which, okay, fine. You do a little bit of drop coverage. You try to lull them into some mid-range shots, but also the Celtics bigs were way, way down. And I think that's a function of the Miami series, the Milwaukee series, that, you know what? It's not Max Strus out there. Sorry, Max. It's not Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero or, or I should actually say more like Gabe Vincent out there. It's just not, it's a different class of shooters when you're talking about Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So they were a little too far back on Steph, and he got some really outrageously open looks. There was one mistake that I think it was Derrick White and might have been Peyton Pritchard early on, where both guys went to the guy who set the screen and rolled, and they both left Steph Curry, which two guys both leaving Steph Curry is, whoa, there goes my light. Don't know what just happened there. But anyway, let's do that again. Sorry. Both of those guys leaving Steph is probably a bad idea. So they made some defensive mistakes that left Steph wide open, 21 points in the first quarter. But the good thing is 21 points in the first quarter. He finished with 34. So that's 13 points the rest of the way. He didn't score in the second quarter. And so that's 14 points in the second half. So that there is the Celtics had a good adjustment. Shout out to Ime Udoka for riding with Peyton Pritchard in that fourth quarter. Marcus Smart started the fourth quarter on the bench and didn't get in until the 3:40 or so mark, 3:41, 3:47. And that's because Pritchard, first of all, hit a couple of shots, but he was just up on Steph Curry, just up in his face. And everywhere Steph went, there's Peyton. And the thing about guarding Steph Curry, Peyton Pritchard is smaller, but not that much smaller. He's Curry can't shoot over the top of him, but I think Peyton is quick enough and good enough defensively to get over the screens and to really be up in Steph. I'm sure that he's going to adjust because Steph Curry is Steph Curry, and he's going to find a way to make that adjustment. But this mix of starts with Marcus Smart, super physical guy. Then you go to Derrick White, a little bit more precision, navigates screens and all that stuff. Not quite as physical, but still some length and a really good defender. Then you throw Pritchard out there and you got to adjust to just tenacity. And this dude's going to climb into your shorts and just live with you wherever you go on the floor. That worked out very, very well for the Celtics. And the result was that monster fourth quarter where Steph was basically not all that effective. And, shout out to Marcus Smart for just rolling with it and saying, hey, this is what it takes to win. So, hey, I think at this point, everybody who, like, if you play the first 3 quarters, all through the first 3 quarters, and you score 40 points and it's a tight game, and you start the fourth quarter on the bench and the Celtics pull away, and you just say, yeah, go for it. I can be done for the night. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters now with any of that stuff. Nothing matters. Just like nothing matters with Tatum. That anonymous scout that talked to ESPN back in November that said Tatum wants to win on Tatum's terms, that Tatum doesn't want to score 15 and win. He wants to score 39 and win. That dude owes Tatum an apology because Tatum came out here, scored 12 points, but had 13 assists. And afterwards, he was asked, so what's going through your mind at that point? He's like, what do you mean? We won. Like he almost like seemed naturally like taken aback. Like, well, yeah, we won. So I'll take it. Of course you'll take it. You're going to get a ring if this keeps happening. You're 3 wins away from a championship. So if you throw Malik Fitz and Juwan Morgan on the floor to start the fourth quarter and they start to pull away somehow magically, then yeah, let them play. Doesn't matter anymore. So the Celtics did a great job with Pritchard and him rolling out there and playing that fourth quarter. Then Smart comes in and hits a couple of threes. And you know what about Smart? That fourth quarter against the Heat in Game 7, the shots that he took in this game, the same shots he took in that game. The difference is these shots went in and those shots didn't. And over here, it's like, wow, Smart, capper, finishing them off. If those 2 shots that he hit here were the same 2 shots in Miami and he hit those 2, then no one would have said a damn thing about Marcus Smart. But in this one, Smart's part of the closer. Smart comes in with less than 4 minutes to go, hits a couple of threes, boom, done, over. So I think the Celtics adjusted well, but they still have a lot more that they can do. A lot. That third quarter, they can't let these third quarters happen the way that went down. They have to be just better defensively overall. They just have to be better defensively. I think this is actually probably a best case scenario for Ime because he's got most of 3 quarters worth of film that the team's they're off on Friday, though they will have a film session, I'm sure. But they're off their film session, wherever it is. I'm sure they'll go over a lot of that stuff. Saturday, they'll have a practice. And they'll have their film session again, and they'll go through some more of that stuff. But in all of that film, you still say they won, and they can fix so many things. I think there's certainly some jitters that happened. You saw a few air balls in this game that, probably too many air balls for the caliber of competition that's out here on the floor. Too many air balls for the NBA Finals. I think guys might have been a little hyped. I said that in my preview on Boston Sports Journal. Said, watch out for guys being too hyped. And it's kind of what we saw. Think guys will settle down. We'll get more into some individual performances because I have not mentioned enough of Horford and Brown and some of these other guys. So I'll talk about that when I come back here on the Locked On Celtics podcast from the Chase Center in San Francisco. You want more? You want more breakdown of the NBA Finals? Check out the Locked On NBA podcast. I know you're making Locked On Celtics your first listen. Make Locked On NBA your second listen. Rotating hosts all week long. It's nothing but Celtics coverage there too, because it's Celtics and Warriors NBA Finals coverage. So check that out. I host on Wednesdays with Jake Madison. So Locked On NBA, wherever you get your podcasts. It's also on YouTube, just like this show. And if you're watching on YouTube, which I hope you are, you'll see me here on the floor at the Chase Center. It's really cool. This building, I swear, this building is amazing. It's this scoreboard. I mean, this thing, it's like the size of a tractor trailer. like double wide. That thing is incredible. I love these big empty buildings after the games. Just like a big monument to basketball. There's this court, the same size court that everybody plays on, that I played on. I can't imagine playing in an arena with this many seats. That's got to be so awesome to stand there and say, I'm playing for a championship, this glory with all of these thousands and thousands of seats around here. That's going to be the coolest feeling in the world. That's amazing to me. All right. Well, these guys who have the coolest feeling in the world had some really cool games in this one. So let's just go top to bottom here. Jayson Tatum, 13 assists, 12 points, 13 assists. Really, honestly, he had a bad shooting night, but that's kind of like the only bad thing that he had. 2 turnovers. Oh, actually, let me backtrack here. Because what did I say in yesterday's game? What's everybody been saying? Who wins the points off turnovers battle? Well, points off of turnovers. Golden State had 14 turnovers, 21 points off those turnovers. Boston, 12 turnovers, 10. Boston ended up getting more live ball turnovers and scoring more off of those turnovers. It's very simple. The Celtics turned them over enough. And yeah, points in the paint. Celtics 34-26. Second chance points. That's all Warriors. But points off of the turnovers. 21 in all of their losses in the playoffs. It's been 21 points off turnovers or more for the Warriors. So 21 gets them in right at that cutoff. And so you can say that's where the game was won and lost. Points off of those turnovers. But Tatum was, 13 assists, a career high. Only 2 turnovers for him. Plus 16. Was finding guys. He never had his rhythm offensively as far as shooting, but he passed well. And when the Celtics shoot better than 50% on across the board, then you're going to rack up some assists. 13 for him, 33 overall for the Celtics. That's great basketball. So not only did they limit their turnovers, their assist to turnover ratio, the 33 assists to the 12 turnovers is spectacular, especially for them. Jaylen Brown had 5 assists. He did a great job. 24 points, 10 of 23 shooting. He had 10 points in the fourth quarter, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block, 4 turnovers for him. But I think one of the things that Jaylen Brown did really well, he had one play where he rejected a screen. It was a great play because they had Pritchard screening for him. And I just like the idea of the shooter screening for a guy who's going to get blitzed. Like, that's one way to beat the blitz. You send a really strong shooter his way and you say, okay, you want to blitz? Then fine. But just give it to this guy and he's going to shoot. And when Jaylen spun out of what was going to be a double team anyway, then I think Otto Porter was the guy who was like, oh, wait, now what do I do? And just left a nice, big, fat lane to go right down the middle and get the layup. Jaylen did a great job attacking. I think Jayson did a poor job attacking. This, I think when you look at the film, and when I rewatch the game, I'll look for this as well. But Tatum settled for a lot of jumpers where he could have gotten to the rim a lot more effectively. And I think maybe he's doing that big swing of the arms, looking for the fouls a little too much. But I know he's trying to do that. It's very Harden type where you swing and then you go up for the shot. Just go up for the shot. Just go up for the layup. Stop hunting for the fouls. Just go and play through these guys. I know that against Miami and Milwaukee, team that reach a lot, you want to try that. Just, you know what? These guys, again, are more precision. Play through them. Just play right through them. Don't even give them a chance to just go straight up and finish at the rim. Tatum should do that a lot more. Jaylen did that, a better job of that. 8 3-pointers, but 23 shots overall. Great in the fourth quarter. Great earlier in the game, too. Jaylen was the guy. Jaylen was the guy who started this whole thing in the fourth quarter. Al Horford was one of the finishers. 26 points for Al Horford. I was talking to Peter Bukowski for the Locked On Sports Today podcast, and he said, started out by saying, if I told you a year ago that Al Horford was going to be the leading scorer for the Celtics in game one of the NBA Finals, probably look at you crazy. So what do you mean, Al Horford? What are you talking about? Yeah, Al Horford. Now, again, 6 of 8 shooting from 3, 9 of 12 overall. Probably not going to happen again. But also, they left him wide open. So maybe not going to hit 6 of 8, 4 of 8. If those were warm-up shots. A lot of those three-pointers were warm-up level shots. So Golden State's got a choice. You're going to back off of them? Okay. Well, then he's going to get warm-up level shots again. Or are you going to play up on him? In which case you open up lanes. This is why this is such a big deal. Horford hitting these shots. If he does it again, if they dare him again and he does it again and they win, now down 2-0, that would be a big, big deal. Now they have to go up. Now you go back to Boston up 2-0, and Horford now has to be accounted for. Defensively, you got no choice because you're not going to say, oh, do it again. All right, 3-0. You can't roll those dice. It's the finals. You got to do something. So we'll see how they react. I'm curious to see how Golden State reacts to Horford's shooting, but that was a phenomenal night. I mean, that guy just clutch baskets in that fourth quarter. Also 6 rebounds, 3 assists for him, a steal. Great night for him. Marcus Smart, what can you say about Smart's game, man? 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. I think Smart, he hit those 2 shots in the fourth quarter to kind of ice it, but Smart was better in the second quarter. I think in the first quarter, he took a couple of shots where you're like, all right, these probably not the best shots, but you made them. So we'll just look the other way, I guess. But in the second quarter, he settled down a little bit. He had that wrap around behind his back layup, which just objectively hilarious. I know what he was doing. He wanted to make it look like he was going behind the back because he had either Al or Rob down there for an easy dump off, which I still think that I thought the play was going to be Smart takes an extra dribble and then fires back an alley-oop, which was there. But instead he went around the back and laid it in. What am I going to say? It was amazing. It was funny that he went for that. So, but Smart was that second quarter, he did a little bit of everything. Attacking, shooting, defense, hit a couple of steals, ripped Jordan Poole. Again, Poole, come up with some other analogy. I'm not doing the Simpsons crap again, but Poole was just ripped by Smart. So just a great performance there for Marcus Smart. Robert Williams, 4-4, 8 points, 6 rebounds, a couple of offensive rebounds, a steal, 4 block shots, which was great, including one. I think he blocked Steph in the corner. Another 3-pointer blocked by Robert Williams. Now, Rob, not himself, just clearly not himself, still hobbling, but did kind of what we thought he should do. 24 minutes, catch a few lobs, catch a dump off, do what you got to do, get some rebounds, some putbacks, play your defense, and hold it down. They tried some Daniel Tice. It didn't really work. We can revisit Daniel Tice again, but I think that was just trying to buy some time. Pritchard, I thought we talked about him. He was really good. 6 rebounds for Pritchard, which he still finds his way into getting rebounds. Like if Pritchard's getting rebounds on you, including another offensive rebound, like you should be fined for giving up an offensive rebound to Peyton Pritchard. But he was good. But defensively, I thought he was great. Who else? Derrick White, 21 points, 6 of 11, 5 of 8. I mean, he was making plays the whole night long. Game high 25 plus 25. So many people have been saying, oh, Derrick White, why'd you get him or whatever. I know that there was a piece written on Celtics blog that was just trashing the Derrick White trade in the immediate aftermath. That has not aged very well. But Derrick White this is the reason why you got him. This is why. And it's not just the shooting. It's not that, like, the shots are amazing that he's hitting them now. He is a little streaky. So, okay, he's probably going to regress a little bit, but he does so many other things. That's why he had 21 points, but that plus 25, like, there's a reason why he's on the floor for so many positive things. So overall, I mean, Grant Williams was the only guy who you're like, no show. Daniel Tice wasn't great. And we got garbage time. Hey, Nick Stauskas played. So that tells you everything you need to know. Only Aaron Nesmith got a DNP. Sorry, Aaron. So a lot more to break down here. The Celtics are off on Friday. So I will spend part of Friday rewatching this game and getting a better sense for what really happened, and be back on Friday evening at some point for a Saturday podcast. I will give you a Saturday podcast. And then I will, on Saturday, the Celtics are practicing on Saturday, so we'll have something to talk about there. I will give you a podcast for Sunday because it's the finals and we got to give you all the content that you crave. And that's what I'm here to do. That's why I'm in San Francisco, to write things for you to read on Boston Sports Journal and record things for you to listen to on the Locked On Celtics podcast. So make sure you are subscribed wherever you get your podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. We're crushing it with the subscriptions. We're getting up, I think, at 6,700 now. So keep going, keep subscribing. The more people that subscribe, obviously, great for my ego. So please do that. Trying to get to 7,500. I've doubled the goal. It was 500 per series, but it's the finals. I'm giving you all this extra content. So I want it to be another 1,000 to get to 7,500 by the end of the finals. I would love that. I would love if that happened. So yeah, do that. And if you're a regular listener, watcher, you can help me out by sharing the podcast and telling everybody, tell your friends, tell your family, tell random people on the street. They should be listening to the Locked On Celtics podcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network.